everybody, my name is Courtney for Pieces Love and Quilting. I am going to do a tutorial. Please excuse the mess behind either side of me and on my floor. I do have a heat press on the floor. I tend to hit my toe on it, which I should have learned by now not to put there. But I don't have a place for it right now. I am doing a tutorial. I'm going to put something down real quick and I'm going to pop it on making t-shirt quilts and knowing to what to use. And so I have a bunch of them, but what I've done was basically cut out. I don't have an actual shirt to use to show you where to cut, but I would suggest to cut at the seams and your sleeves, and then all the way up in your shoulder line here first, and then press the stabilizer. The stabilizer will help keep the shirt from shrinking or wriggling around, because like it will not do the stretch because it's literally tough. And I'll get you the stabilizer. What I buy a bolt at Joann's because it's like 99 cents per yard, and it's awesome. Or you can buy it on Amazon. So normally I would prep it beforehand, but I've already had this prepped with the stabilizer after, and it's sitting in a box for a while because I plan on doing something with it. I just was in the middle of another t-shirt quilt for a client of mine, and I'm in the process of putting it together so that that person can have that quilt back. But this is mine that I'm working on for my mom, who doesn't know that I'm actually getting ready to make her a t-shirt quilt of basically of my high school shirts. Eventually I would like to find more shirts, so this is kind of one of those, I'm just gonna try to prep them as I go, because eventually I want to go through all my boxes of clothes from 5 years, but I do have shirts that didn't fit me anymore, so I thought it would be perfect to add into the quilt. And so on the stabilizer, for like my preference to get it on there, because you can use an iron, I like to use my heat press because it has the higher amount of heat, and two, you're not wiggling it around, because if you move the stabilizer, you can't do normal pressing like as you would press a shirt. But you can't do that because then it doesn't stick very well, and it won't get it all down. So the heat press would actually press it all the way down, and I preference, and I will show you. I had someone comment they bought a 10.5 inch ruler. I have a 12.5 inch ruler. Depending on the design of the logo, I also have a 15.5 inch ruler. Depending on the design of the logo, it depends on what size ruler I would need. So like instantly this logo, and I'll actually lay it out on the cutting table so you guys can see. So you have to give me a minute. I typically try to use my biggest ruler and see if it fits in that design goal. So like instantly this one already automatically fits. But I try to see if my smallest ruler, like my 12.5, but I like to make sure I have a 1/4 inch seam. Because if I do not have a 1/4 inch seam, you will be sewing, literally, it would look like you just sewed part of the design off, and it wouldn't look pretty. And so if you make sure, like if you have Creative Grids ruler, they have a 1/4 inch line on it, so like instantly, I don't know if you can see it. So like right above that white line, the dots, there's that 1/4 inch seam. I tend to do a little bit more because I don't want to take a chance if I mess up on sewing. So like this one's perfect because I try to angle it a little bit. Sometimes I do. There we go. So let's go ahead and cut that one. And just make sure you don't stretch it. Rotating mat would be perfect for this, but my only problem I have is if you move the rotating mat, it's not going to cut. You're going to move your design completely. So like after I did that, I try to rotate the fabric itself and line up the edges to the, sorry if you can't see that, to the edge of what I cut off, and then I just go ahead and cut off again. And there's a 12.5 inch square. So typically there's some ways to do it. If you don't want it just all t-shirts, and give me a second, I'm going to take an example. So let's take our piece of white fabric. So I'm going to take a 2.5 inch strip. I could just wrap around 2.5 inch strips. Each day I will show you different progress, but I like this quilt, I probably put in some fun colors like boutique. I'm gonna do something like this around it, and it's a really pretty. It has a bunch of colors in it, and especially with my maroon, rose, and red and gray, because I did a lot of stuff, and I thought having something with this design with multicolors would be perfect. It's a boutique. So I hope this helps. If you need some more videos, let me know. And I'm actually going to ask to see if it's okay with my client that I could do a video on that person's quilt. And if he's okay with it, I'll do a full tutorial video of it. So I hope this helps.